The most crucial contest you'll ever face isn't against a rival, a workmate, or even the world at large. It's the struggle within yourself. You against you, that's the real test. And it's the one arena where you wield absolute authority. In this personal battleground, your choices, your judgments, and your actions alone determine the outcome. Consider this for a moment. Every other kind of rivalry involves outside forces. When you're pitted against another person, their talents, their training, their resolve all factor into the equation. When you're confronting the world, you're contending with situations, social expectations, economic realities, elements mostly beyond your grasp. But when it's you versus you, something extraordinary happens. Genuine development takes place. You hold the reins of your own future. I recall a young man I knew some years back who was floundering in his profession. He was perpetually measuring himself against his coworkers, agonizing over his supervisor's opinion, and worrying about the economy's ups and downs. He was miserable and stagnant. One day, I sat down with him and posed a simple question. Imagine if you stopped fixating on everyone else and started dedicating yourself to becoming the finest version of yourself? The expression on his face was remarkable. It was like a switch had flipped. He grasped that he'd been fighting the wrong war all along. When your gaze is constantly directed outward, perpetually sizing yourself up against others, you relinquish your own power. You allow external influences to define your value, your achievements, your joy. But the moment you shift that attention inward, when it becomes about you versus you, that's when you seize control once more. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, isn't that self-centered? Shouldn't we be thinking about others? Certainly, we should always be considerate of others, always seek to contribute to our communities and the world. But here's the key, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You cannot give what you yourself lack. By prioritizing your own evolution, your own betterment, you actually amplify your capacity to be of service to others. Consider this analogy. On an aircraft, what's the instruction regarding oxygen masks? Affix your own mask before helping those around you. Why? Because if you lose consciousness attempting to assist someone else, you're of no use to anyone. This same truth holds in life. By dedicating yourself to your own progress, you're not being egocentric, you're readying yourself for greater contributions to the lives of others. Focusing on you versus you means establishing your own yardsticks, not based on what others are achieving, but on what you are capable of. It entails competing with the individual you were yesterday, aiming to be incrementally better with each passing day. It involves posing difficult questions to yourself. Am I realizing my full potential? Am I capitalizing on my talents? Am I venturing beyond my comfort zone? Am I constantly learning and expanding? These are not easy questions to confront. They demand honesty, introspection, and frequently expose uncomfortable realities. But my friends, that very unease is the birthplace of growth. That discomfort signals that you are stretching yourself, that you are transforming. Let me share another illustration. I once knew a woman who was paralyzed by the thought of public speaking. The mere prospect of standing before an audience would make her palms perspire and her heart pound in her chest. Yet, she carried a message she deeply believed in, a story she yearned to share. And so, she made a choice. She resolved that her dread of public speaking would no longer shackle her. Did she immediately volunteer to speak at a national conference? Of course not. She began modestly. She started by contributing more in team meetings at her workplace. Subsequently, she volunteered to give presentations to smaller groups. With each opportunity, she nudged herself a little further beyond the boundaries of her comfort zone. Was it effortless? Absolutely not. There were instances when she felt like surrendering, moments when the fear seemed insurmountable. But with each encounter with that fear, each time she persevered, she gained strength. She wasn't trying to outdo professional speakers or emulate charismatic figures. She was in competition with herself, pushing the person she was yesterday to become a little more courageous, a little more self-assured today. And you know what? Over time, those modest steps accumulated. That woman who once couldn't address a small group without trembling is now a highly regarded speaker in her field. She didn't reach that point by mimicking someone else. She got there by consistently challenging herself, by making it a personal battle of her versus her. This is the transformative power of concentrating on you versus you. It's about cultivating a growth-oriented mindset. It's about ongoing, step-by-step progress. It's about setting your individual benchmarks and then exceeding them. It's about evolving into the finest version of yourself, not a mediocre imitation of someone else. Now, I can almost hear some of you pondering, that sounds wonderful, but where do I begin? How do I embark on this journey of self-improvement? Well, I'm delighted you asked. Allow me to share a few strategies that I've found incredibly potent over the years. First and foremost, you must gain clarity about your values. What truly holds significance for you? What principles do you wish to live by? This isn't about what society dictates should be important or what your family or friends think you should value. This is about delving deep within and pinpointing what genuinely resonates with you at your core. Why is this so vital? Because your values serve as your internal compass. They steer your choices, mold your actions, and ultimately chart the trajectory of your life. When your values are clearly defined, it becomes considerably easier to focus on you versus you because you possess a well-defined criterion against which to gauge your advancement. Let me provide an example. Let's say one of your fundamental values is lifelong learning. Now, instead of contrasting your knowledge with that of others, you can concentrate on whether you are embodying that value. Are you reading consistently? Are you actively seeking new experiences? Are you questioning your assumptions? These become your measures of success, not how much someone else knows or what academic credentials they possess. Next, establish clear, precise objectives. I'm not referring to hazy aspirations like I want to be successful or I want to be happy. I'm speaking of tangible, measurable goals that align with your values. If lifelong learning is among your values, an objective could be to read one book each month on a subject outside your area of expertise. If well-being is a value, an objective might be to engage in physical activity for 30 minutes 5 days a week. These specific goals furnish you with something concrete to strive towards, a means of assessing your development in your personal battle of you versus you. But here's the critical point. These goals should extend you, but they shouldn't overwhelm you. They should be sufficiently challenging to propel you beyond your comfort zone, but not so daunting that they leave you feeling defeated. Remember, our aim is continuous, gradual enhancement. Cultivate a growth mindset. This is the conviction that your aptitudes and intellect can be honed through dedication, education, and perseverance. It's the antithesis of a fixed mindset, which holds that your attributes are unchangeable, that you are either intelligent or you are not, gifted or not. With a growth mindset, every obstacle transforms into an opportunity for learning and development. Every setback presents a chance to build resilience. Every critique offers feedback that can aid your improvement. This mindset is indispensable in the battle of you versus you, because it empowers you to perceive your potential as limitless. It emboldens you to embrace challenges rather than evade them, to persist in the face of adversity rather than capitulate. Let me relate a personal anecdote to illustrate this. Some years ago, I decided to learn a new language. Now, I had always believed that I was incapable of learning languages. I had struggled with French in secondary school and had persuaded myself that I simply didn't possess a language brain. But as I began to comprehend the concept of a growth mindset, I chose to challenge that ingrained belief. I initiated small, manageable objectives. I committed to learning 5 new words daily. I practiced for just 15 minutes each morning. And you know what? Gradually but surely, I started to make headway. Were there days when I felt discouraged? Absolutely. Were there moments when I felt like giving up? Certainly. But each time I felt that way, I reminded myself that this wasn't about attaining fluency overnight. It wasn't about comparing myself to native speakers or polyglots. It was about me versus me. It was about being marginally better today than I was yesterday. And over time, those modest efforts compounded. Today, while I'm not a native speaker, I can engage in conversations in that language. I can read books, watch films, and even deliver brief presentations. More importantly, I've demonstrated to myself that I can learn and develop in areas where I once believed I was limited. Growth transpires beyond your comfort zone. If you are perpetually engaging in what is easy, what is comfortable, you're not growing, you're stagnating. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to inflict suffering upon yourself, but I am saying that you must be willing to confront challenges, to undertake tasks that intimidate you somewhat. Remember our public speaking example? That woman did not conquer her fear by avoiding it. She confronted it directly, in small, manageable increments. What is something that instills a little fear in you? What is something you've been sidestepping because it lies outside your comfort zone? Identify it, and then take one small step toward confronting it. Remember, it's not about vanquishing it all at once. It's about gradual, consistent advancement. Now, let's explore the potency of self-reflection. This is where the true battle of you versus you unfolds. In those tranquil moments when you're truthful with yourself regarding your progress, your deficiencies, your endeavors. Dedicate time regularly. It could be daily, weekly, or monthly, to reflect upon your journey. Ask yourself, am I adhering to my values? Am I progressing toward my objectives? What have I gleaned? Where can I enhance my efforts? This self-reflection is not about berating yourself for errors or shortcomings. It's about honest evaluation and course correction. It's about celebrating your achievements and pinpointing areas for development. Cultivate discipline. Discipline is what closes the gap between your aspirations and your accomplishments. It's what propels you out of bed to exercise, even when sleep is enticing, and sustains your focus on your project, resisting the lure of the television. It's what empowers you to save money, even when the temptation to spend is powerful. Discipline is not about attaining perfection, it's about maintaining consistency. It's about consistently making the right choices, even when motivation wanes. And here's a small secret about discipline. It becomes easier with practice. The more you exercise your discipline muscle, the stronger it becomes. Begin modestly. Perhaps it's making your bed each morning. Perhaps it's opting for water instead of soda. These minor acts of discipline accumulate over time, establishing a base for more significant challenges. Now you might be questioning, what connection does gratitude have to self-improvement? Well, allow me to tell you, it has everything to do with it. Gratitude redirects your attention from what you lack to what you possess. It aids you in appreciating your advancement, rather than constantly fixating on how far you still have to go. It reminds you of the resources and support you have along your journey. More importantly, gratitude fuels motivation. When you are appreciative of what you have and how far you've progressed, you are more inclined to want to continue improving, to maximize your opportunities and capabilities. Try this. At the close of each day, jot down 3 things for which you are grateful. They don't need to be monumental things. Perhaps you are grateful for a delectable meal, a kind word from a friend, or a magnificent sunset. Over time, this practice will train your mind to seek out the positive, to value your advancement in your journey of you versus you. Surround yourself with the appropriate influences. Now, this might appear counterintuitive in a discussion about you versus you, but the reality is, we are all influenced by our surroundings, by the individuals with whom we spend time, by the information we absorb. If you are perpetually enveloped by negativity, by individuals who discourage you or diminish your ambitions, it's going to be considerably more difficult to remain focused on your personal growth. Conversely, if you surround yourself with positive influences, individuals who champion your goals, books that inspire you, environments that invigorate you, you are cultivating an atmosphere conducive to growth. This doesn't imply you need to eliminate everyone who disagrees with you. Constructive criticism and diverse viewpoints are valuable, but it does mean being deliberate about the influences in your life. Opt to spend time with individuals who challenge you to become better, read books that broaden your perspective, create an environment that bolsters your objectives. Failure is an instructor. Failure is not your adversary, it's your ally. Every failure, every setback, every error is an opportunity to learn and develop. Contemplate this. If you never experience failure, it likely signifies you are not pushing yourself sufficiently, you are remaining safely within your comfort zone. But remember, growth occurs outside that comfort zone. When you encounter failure, do not berate yourself. Instead, inquire, what can I glean from this? How can I utilize this experience to become better? This change in perspective transforms every failure into a stepping stone toward success. I recall a young entrepreneur I once mentored. He had invested his heart and soul into a business concept only to witness it fail spectacularly. He was devastated, prepared to abandon his aspirations of being an entrepreneur. But when we sat down to dissect what went awry, he commenced to perceive the invaluable lessons within his failure. He learned about market research, about financial planning, about the significance of adaptability. Those lessons became the bedrock for his subsequent venture, which proved to be a resounding success. Celebrate your achievements. In the relentless pursuit of self-improvement, it's easy to consistently concentrate on what's next, on how far you still have to travel. What is something you've been sidestepping because it lies outside your comfort zone? Identify it, and then take one small step toward confronting it. Remember, it's not about vanquishing it all at once. It's about gradual, consistent advancement. Now, let's explore the potency of self-reflection. This is where the true battle of you versus you unfolds. In those tranquil moments when you are truthful with yourself regarding your progress, your deficiencies, your endeavors. Dedicate time regularly, it could be daily, weekly, or monthly, to reflect upon your journey. Ask yourself, am I adhering to my values? Am I progressing toward my objectives? What have I gleaned? Where can I enhance my efforts? This self-reflection is not about berating yourself for errors or shortcomings. It's about honest evaluation and course correction. It's about celebrating your achievements and pinpointing areas for development. Cultivate discipline. Discipline is what closes the gap between your aspirations and your accomplishments. It's what propels you out of bed to exercise, even when sleep is enticing, and sustains your focus on your project, resisting the lure of the television. It's what empowers you to save money, even when the temptation to spend is powerful. Discipline is not about attaining perfection, it's about maintaining consistency. It's about consistently making the right choices, even when motivation wanes. And here's a small secret about discipline: it becomes easier with practice. The more you exercise your discipline muscle, the stronger it becomes. Begin modestly. Perhaps it's making your bed each morning. Perhaps it's opting for water instead of soda. These minor acts of discipline accumulate over time, establishing a base for more significant challenges. Now you might be questioning, what connection does gratitude have to self-improvement? Well, allow me to tell you, it has everything to do with it. Gratitude redirects your attention from what you lack to what you possess. It aids you in appreciating your advancement, rather than constantly fixating on how far you still have to go. It reminds you of the resources and support you have along your journey. More importantly, gratitude fuels motivation. When you are appreciative of what you have and how far you've progressed, you are more inclined to want to continue improving, to maximize your opportunities and capabilities. Try this. At the close of each day, jot down 3 things for which you are grateful. They don't need to be monumental things. Perhaps you are grateful for a delectable meal, a kind word from a friend, or a magnificent sunset. Over time, this practice will train your mind to seek out the positive, to value your advancement in your journey of you versus you. Surround yourself with the appropriate influences. Now, this might appear counterintuitive in a discussion about you versus you, but the reality is, we are all influenced by our surroundings, by the individuals with whom we spend time, by the information we absorb. If you are perpetually enveloped by negativity, by individuals who discourage you or diminish your ambitions, it's going to be considerably more difficult to remain focused on your personal growth. Conversely, if you surround yourself with positive influences, individuals who champion your goals, books that inspire you, environments that invigorate you, you are cultivating an atmosphere conducive to growth. This doesn't imply you need to eliminate everyone who disagrees with you. Constructive criticism and diverse viewpoints are valuable, but it does mean being deliberate about the influences in your life. Opt to spend time with individuals who challenge you to become better, read books that broaden your perspective, create an environment that bolsters your objectives. Failure is an instructor. Failure is not your adversary, it's your ally. Every failure, every setback, every error is an opportunity to learn and develop. Contemplate this. If you never experience failure, it likely signifies you are not pushing yourself sufficiently, you are remaining safely within your comfort zone. But remember, growth occurs outside that comfort zone. When you encounter failure, do not berate yourself. Instead, inquire, what can I glean from this? How can I utilize this experience to become better? This change in perspective transforms every failure into a stepping stone toward success. I recall a young entrepreneur I once mentored. He had invested his heart and soul into a business concept only to witness it fail spectacularly. He was devastated, prepared to abandon his aspirations of being an entrepreneur. But when we sat down to dissect what went awry, he commenced to perceive the invaluable lessons within his failure. He learned about market research, about financial planning, about the significance of adaptability. Those lessons became the bedrock for his subsequent venture, which proved to be a resounding success. Celebrate your achievements. In the relentless pursuit of self-improvement, it's easy to consistently concentrate on what's next, on how far you still have to travel. It acts as a shield against complacency and stagnation. It propels you to continually broaden your knowledge base and refine your skill set. I once encountered a highly successful businessman in his later years who credited his enduring success to his insatiable curiosity. He shared with me, "The day I cease to be curious is the day I cease to grow." This individual was a voracious reader, a constant questioner, and an avid explorer of new experiences. He approached each day with a sense of wonder and a thirst for knowledge. As a consequence, he continued to evolve and adapt in an ever-shifting business landscape. This same principle applies directly to our personal evolution. If we cease to be curious about ourselves, about our untapped potential, we halt our own growth. So, how can we nurture this vital quality of curiosity? It begins with asking more questions. When you encounter something unfamiliar or different, instead of dismissing it outright, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Make it a habit to explore subjects outside your typical areas of interest. Embrace new experiences. Challenge your preconceived notions. The more you exercise your curiosity, the more robust it becomes. Cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the current moment, consciously aware of your thoughts and feelings without becoming entangled in them. And in the context of you versus you, mindfulness is a potent instrument. Why? Because we frequently find ourselves trapped in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. We rehash past mistakes or worry about potential obstacles. But none of that contributes to our growth. Growth occurs in the present moment, in the choices we make, in the actions we take right now. Mindfulness anchors you to the present. It assists you in focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your responses in this very moment. It allows you to fully immerse yourself in your current task, to dedicate your complete attention to your personal growth efforts. Furthermore, mindfulness enhances your awareness of your own thought patterns. It allows you to observe your mental habits without judgment, and this awareness is the initial step in transforming those habits that no longer serve your growth. Consistent practice of mindfulness can result in heightened focus, reduced stress levels, and greater self-awareness. You can begin practicing mindfulness with simple exercises. Try taking several deep breaths and concentrating solely on the sensation of breathing. Or when you are eating, pay complete attention to the taste, the textures, and the aromas of your food. These brief moments of mindfulness can progressively extend to other facets of your life, amplifying your focus and awareness along your personal growth journey. Change is the only constant in life, and your capacity to adapt to change is essential in the ongoing struggle of you versus you. The world around us is in perpetual motion, and to continue growing, we must evolve alongside it. Embracing change does not necessitate that you must relish every alteration that comes your way. It signifies being receptive to new possibilities, being willing to adjust your course when necessary, and viewing change as an opportunity for development rather than a threat. Consider this: every significant breakthrough in your personal growth will involve some degree of change. You may need to modify your habits, your mindset, your surroundings. Resisting these changes will only impede your progress. Embracing them unlocks new avenues for growth. I recall a colleague who had been in the same role for over 2 decades. When his company underwent a substantial digital transformation, many of his peers resisted, clinging to familiar, outdated methods. But my colleague perceived this change as a chance for advancement. He immersed himself in learning the new systems, even though it presented initial challenges. As a result, not only did he retain his position during a time of uncertainty for others, but he also discovered a passion for technology that opened doors to new career opportunities. On your journey of self-improvement, you will inevitably make mistakes. You will encounter setbacks. You will sometimes fall short of your own expectations. And in these moments, the capacity to forgive yourself is paramount. Clinging to guilt, shame, or regret is counterproductive to your growth. It keeps you tethered to the past, depleting the energy you could be channeling toward forward momentum. Self-forgiveness empowers you to learn from your mistakes without being immobilized by them. This does not imply absolving yourself of responsibility or disregarding the consequences of your actions. It signifies acknowledging what transpired, extracting the lessons, and then releasing the negative emotions so you can redirect your focus to future improvement. And this principle of forgiveness extends to others as well. Harboring grudges, nurturing resentment, these actions consume mental and emotional resources that could be better allocated to your personal growth. Forgiving others liberates you to concentrate on your own journey. Develop a sense of purpose. Possessing a well-defined sense of purpose provides direction to your personal growth endeavors. It aids you in prioritizing tasks, making informed decisions, and maintaining motivation during challenging times. Your purpose does not need to be grandiose in scale. It does not have to entail transforming the world, although it certainly can if that is your driving force. Your purpose might be to be the most supportive parent you can be, to make a positive impact within your local community, to create beautiful works of art, or to solve intriguing problems within your professional sphere. The key is that your purpose must resonate deeply within you. It should be something that excites you, that imbues your efforts with meaning. Discovering your purpose is not always instantaneous. It often involves a process of exploring diverse interests and values to discern what truly resonates with your core being. When you possess this sense of purpose, the everyday challenges along your self-improvement journey become more manageable. You are not simply working diligently for the sake of working. You are working towards something that holds genuine significance for you. In the unwavering pursuit of self-improvement, it is easy to become your own harshest critic. However, relentlessly berating yourself over every misstep or imperfection is counterproductive. It drains your energy and diminishes your motivation, making it more difficult to continue moving forward. Self-compassion entails treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would extend to a dear friend. It involves acknowledging that everyone makes mistakes and encounters challenges. It signifies being supportive and encouraging toward yourself, particularly during moments of difficulty. This does not suggest making excuses for your actions or evading responsibility. It signifies balancing honest self-assessment with compassion and understanding. It means recognizing your inherent humanity and treating yourself with respect as you strive to become a better version of yourself. While the journey of you versus you is primarily an internal one, seeking external perspectives can be incredibly valuable. Other individuals may perceive blind spots that you are not aware of or recognize strengths that you have been overlooking. Seeking feedback does not imply that you should base your self-worth on the opinions of others. It signifies being open to input that can facilitate your growth. Seek feedback from individuals you trust and respect. Be receptive to constructive criticism, but also exercise discernment. Not all feedback will be helpful or relevant to your personal growth journey. And remember, the most insightful feedback frequently stems from your own experiences. Pay attention to the outcomes of your actions. What strategies are proving effective? What approaches are not yielding the desired results? Utilize this information to continually refine your approach. Gratitude might appear unrelated to self-improvement, but it is, in fact, a powerful catalyst in your personal growth journey. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you possess. This positive mindset can fuel your motivation and bolster your resilience as you strive to become a better version of yourself. Gratitude also enables you to appreciate your progress. In the constant drive for improvement, it's easy to perpetually focus on how far you still have to go, but dedicating time to be grateful for how far you've already come can enhance your confidence and reinforce your dedication to growth. Try this. At the conclusion of each day, write down 3 things for which you are grateful. They can be significant or seemingly insignificant. Over time, this practice will train your mind to notice the positive aspects of your life and your personal growth journey. Prioritize your physical well-being. Your mind and body are inextricably linked. When you neglect your physical health, it becomes considerably more challenging to concentrate on personal growth in other areas of your life. This involves engaging in regular exercise, consuming a balanced diet, ensuring adequate sleep, and managing stress effectively. These are not separate from your self-improvement efforts. They are fundamental to them. When you feel physically well, you possess more energy, sharpened focus, and greater resilience to confront the challenges inherent in your personal growth journey. Remember, caring for your health is not about pursuing perfection or adhering to extreme regimens. It's about making consistent, sustainable choices that support your overall well-being and personal growth. In the ongoing battle of you versus you will inevitably encounter setbacks. You will face obstacles. You will experience days when you feel like surrendering. Resilience is the quality that will sustain you during these moments. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties or never experiencing discouragement. It's about possessing the mental and emotional fortitude to rebound from setbacks, to persevere even when circumstances are arduous. You can cultivate resilience by reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, by developing a supportive network, by practicing self-care, and by maintaining perspective. Remember, every setback is temporary, and every challenge is a chance to emerge stronger. Resilience is built incrementally, through facing and overcoming adversity. The journey of self-improvement is a continuous process. It has no definitive endpoint. There is perpetually more to learn, perpetually avenues for growth and refinement. Embracing a mindset of lifelong learning keeps you engaged, curious, and in a state of continuous evolution. This does not necessitate that you must be perpetually enrolled in formal classes, although that can be beneficial if it aligns with your objectives. Lifelong learning can manifest in various forms. It might involve reading regularly, exploring new experiences, seeking diverse perspectives, or acquiring new skills. The essential element is to remain curious and receptive to new knowledge and experiences. Each day presents opportunities to glean something new. In our fast-paced world, we often anticipate instant gratification, but genuine, lasting personal growth requires time. It demands consistent effort over the long haul. Patience does not equate to passive waiting. It signifies continuing to work toward your goals, even when you do not witness immediate results. It signifies trusting the process, knowing that small, consistent efforts will compound over time. Remember, you are engaged in a long-term endeavor in the battle of you versus you. Quick fixes and overnight transformations are rarely sustainable. True growth and enduring change occur gradually, through consistent effort over time. The journey of you versus you is the most significant and fulfilling challenge you will ever undertake. It is a journey without a final destination. There is perpetually room for growth, perpetually new heights to attain. And as you embark on this journey, remember that it's not solely about transforming your own life. It's also about acquiring the power to positively influence the world around you. Remember, in the grand competition of life, the most important metric is the one that gauges your growth against your own potential. Therefore, make each day count. Strive, challenge yourself, believe in yourself. Because ultimately, the greatest victory you can achieve is becoming the person you are truly capable of being. It's about uncovering the potential that lies dormant within you, waiting to be unleashed. It's about shedding the limitations you've imposed upon yourself, the narratives you've constructed about what you can and cannot accomplish. It's about embracing your unique strengths, your individual talents, and utilizing them to create a life of purpose and fulfillment. This journey of self-mastery is not always easy. There will be moments when you falter, when you doubt yourself, when you feel like giving up. But it is in these moments that your commitment to yourself is truly tested. It is in these moments that you have the opportunity to transcend your fears, to push beyond your limitations, and to emerge stronger than before. And each time you do, each time you choose growth over comfort, each time you choose courage over fear, you are one step closer to becoming the person you are destined to be. Do not compare your journey to that of another. Everyone's path is unique. Everyone has their own distinct challenges and triumphs. Focus on your own race. Run your own course. And celebrate each milestone you achieve along the way. Because even the smallest steps forward constitute progress. They are evidence that you are moving in the right direction. Remember, the battle of you versus you is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's a lifelong journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. And the most important objective is not to reach some arbitrary finish line, but to embrace the process itself. To savor the journey, to learn from every experience, and to continually strive to become the best version of yourself. And so, I leave you with this reflection. Who do you aspire to be? What kind of person do you wish to become? The answer resides within you. It's time to unleash your potential, to embrace your greatness, and to become the champion of your own life. The battle commences now. The battle is you versus you. And the victory is yours for the taking. Go forth and conquer yourself. Go forth and be extraordinary. Remember, the battle is you versus you, and the victory is yours to claim. Start today by focusing on one area you want to improve, and watch the transformation begin. I'm just starting out on this journey too, so subscribe and let's grow together. I'll be sharing more inspiring content to help us both along the way.